Hello my fellow gamers and welcome to this week's episode in our Just the Facts series. Well now, if this isn't a blast from the past, I don't know what is. Yes, as you can tell from the title, it would appear that Tony Hawk is back. After years of silence and many failed spin-off games, I might add, it would appear, according to some leaked sources, that we are indeed getting a new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game. But why now? Where's he been all these years? Where did the franchise disappear to? Well, in today's episode we are going to discuss this leak, where Tony Hawk's disappeared to, and why we are getting a potential new game. So sit back, relax and enjoy. So, as I said, a new Tony Hawk's skating game is apparently in the works. According to a supposed leak from a group that says we'll hear their music in the game when it releases later this year. The band is called The Death Set. Never actually heard of them. I mean, literally never heard of them. I mean, they're probably on YouTube somewhere. If you guys want to check them out, go ahead. Anyway, they casually threw up a post on their Facebook page. Again, didn't even know they existed, so I didn't even know they had a Facebook page. But yeah, carrying on. This said that they'd just licensed 5 new songs to Tony Hawk's 2020 game. And that people would be hearing their music there soon. So, this wouldn't be the first rumour about a Tony Hawk's game that we've heard over the last couple of years. But it's certainly one more convincing, and assuming everything the band said is accurate and they're not just pulling everyone's leg, then maybe we should take it with a pinch of salt. But the post in question from the Death Set is still live on their Facebook page, even though there's been no official announcement about a Tony Hawk's game. Now, this is kind of weird because unless it's one of those things where it's a bad case of they've put it up there in a pit of excitement and they weren't supposed to, and the developers of the new game are just like, take that down or we will shoot you in the face. Or they're just seriously having a go at them for posting it now. I don't know, because it's been up for around about 2 days now and it is still there. So if they were to take it down, it would stand to reason that it would have disappeared within an hour or two. And it's still there, so who knows? Maybe they were told to do this by the company. Otherwise, I doubt they would have done it. But you know, we're living in a digital age now, so things always get leaked. I mean, just look at Tom Holland. He cannot keep a secret to save his life. You know, I really think that Thanos did a good job when he snapped him out of existence. Let's just leave it there. Anyway. But to take a step further, you know, they posted it on Twitter as well, and they've even pinned the tweet to their page in an effort to try and make it stay there. Which, you know, that doesn't always work because it can be taken down, and you'll just read something that says this post was removed, blah blah blah. So, don't know why they've done that. But I do have the tweet in question in front of me, and it says, just licensed 5 new songs to Tony Hawk's 2020 game. You'll be hearing this SHIT soon. I say SHIT because YouTube has gotten really strict about swearing in videos. So I'm trying my hardest not to swear in videos now. I don't know if you guys can still swear in the comments, but yeah, I'm trying my best not to swear because I will get in the SHIT for it. You know, if you can read at a 3rd grade level, then I'm pretty sure you know what SHIT spells anyway, but yeah, whatever. Moving on. The Tony Hawk's games were always well known for their stellar soundtracks that helped create the gaming experience. You know, they had such great artists like Guerrilla Radio, and it's those kind of artists that really made it iconic. I mean, Guerrilla Radio is the only one I can think of right now, but still, you know, it still made it iconic. All the soundtracks that were in it, I think there was Papa Roach in there as well, and it was just so iconic. The soundtrack was something to be remembered, like a Grand Theft Auto game, for example. It was just something to be remembered, something that stayed with you, and it helped the gaming experience feel all that much better. So, if there is a Tony Hawk's game in the works that's supposedly going to be releasing later this year, it'll be interesting to see which company is behind it, because Activision held the biggest rights to Tony Hawk's for years. You know, it was always an Activision thing. I'm not sure what Skate was because I never really played Skate, but I knew the Tony Hawk's games were all just basically Activision. And we haven't really heard anything from Activision regarding this. I mean, we haven't heard anything from Activision for quite a while, actually. But whether or not it's done by Activision, we just don't know. Because in a statement released by Tony Hawk a couple of years ago, he said, when people were asking him to assist in the remastering or remake of some of the older Pro Skater games, and said he was no longer working with Activision and that the company owned the rights to the Pro Skater games. He said he would be happy to give people what they wanted in terms of turning servers back on or remastering the games, but he wasn't able to do so because Activision weren't allowing it. Which is quite disappointing. You know, the games literally have Tony Hawk's name on them. I mean, Tony Hawk could specifically go to them and say, well, hang on a minute, you're making money by still selling things with my name on them. Because even at resale value or download value, it's still Tony Hawk. So he still should be making money for that, but he's not. Activision excuse me, Activision are making the money for it, not him. So he could quite rightly go to them and say, well, no, you're making money from a product that's got my name on it. I want in on this, you know, I want to give the fans what they want. I want to do what the fans want. But it would appear that Activision are just shoving a middle finger up at us all. But that's the gaming industry for you. Well, board of directors industry for you, should I say. But yeah, despite not working with Activision anymore, Mr. Hawk did have a new skating game release in 2018. It was called Skate Jam. And it was a mobile skating game, so you can guess it didn't do very well in the first place. I mean, it was at least a Tony Hawk's title, but like other games that are announced and then clarified to be mobile-only titles, it was a so-so announcement for people who were waiting on a more traditional skating game to be made on the console platforms. I mean, we haven't seen a Tony Hawk's game since, I think, 2018, so fans really want something new. You know, they want something, either something retro that we can revisit, or something new in general that has that retro vibe. You know, something that makes us feel like we can really enjoy the game again. Something that takes us back, you know, maybe something like Tony Hawk's Underground or Tony Hawk's 3, or just something like Tony Hawk's 2, because I still play Tony Hawk's Underground. In fact, I was playing Tony Hawk's Underground last week, because I love the story in that game. You know, I love creating your own character, creating your own skateboard, and just going through the game as yourself. You know, you can literally create yourself in that game and just have your own career. It's fantastic. It's brilliant, you know. I mean, yeah, you can create a character in most of the other games as well, but in Tony Hawk's Underground, it was particularly special because it gave a new element to the game when you could basically put yourself in there. You could put you inside of you, which now that I say that out loud, it doesn't sound as good. But yeah, I think you get where I'm coming from. Yeah. Anyway, I will definitely look out for more news on this rumoured Tony Hawk's 2020 game to be shared in the future, assuming the leak is real and, like I said, the band aren't just pulling our legs. Let's hope they're not. I really doubt a band looking to catch a break would lie about something like this, because I've never heard of this band. I mean, if you guys have, let me know in the comments, but I've never heard of this band, so if they're lying about this just to make a name for themselves, then they're going about it the wrong way. So I don't think anyone would be that callous. I don't think anyone would be that cold. So there's got to be some premise to it, there's got to be some truth behind it. Even if the game is supposedly happening and then it turns out it's not happening, at least they weren't lying about it, if you know what I mean. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think it's a good idea to have a new Tony Hawk game? Do you think we should have a remake or a remaster? Or do you simply think the franchise should stay dead, that Tony Hawk's too old now, that we've had enough of it? Or it shouldn't be called Tony Hawk's in the first place because Tony Hawk isn't even in the game anymore. I mean, as far as I know, Tony Hawk hasn't been in the games for quite a while. I mean, yeah, he's been a playable character, but he hasn't really been in the game, if you know what I mean. He hasn't been in the game so much that you go up to him and talk to him and then you learn some tricks off him and whatnot. That sort of deal. But regardless, let me know what you guys think, because I would really like to hear your thoughts and feedback on this, because Tony Hawk, it's really been one of those games that even if you didn't play it, you must have watched somebody play it. You must have watched a video to it on the internet. You watched a family member play it, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, whatever. You've seen Tony Hawk's at some point. And whether you liked it or you didn't like it, you've still got that vibe to it. You've still got that, this is kind of good. It's not my kind of thing, but it's still kind of good. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that is it for this episode. I do apologise, it's a little bit shorter than usual. That's just because that's literally all I could find on this. And I do apologise for not producing any content last week. I didn't do a single live stream last week. But that's simply because I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately. And my dog is also extremely ill, so I've been taking a lot of time to see my dog and look after my dog. It's a bad case of it's one of those things where she could go at any moment, so I'm just trying to spend as much time with her as I possibly can. I'm sure you guys understand. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. It's tough to lose a pet. I mean, I lost my other dog 2 years ago, and that was a struggle for me as well. So it's a tough time. But I'm still going to try and produce content for you. But yeah, of course, we're going to be taking our usual Sundays and Tuesdays off through the week. So just stay tuned this week. I've got some content planned. I've got some series that I need to finish. I've got God of War that we need to finish. There's Days Gone we need to finish. We need to play Death Stranding. We need to play some Sinking City. I've got a lot that I want to do this week, and I will definitely do it. But anyway, shout out to all subscribers, old and new. I still can't believe we've hit that amazing goal of 1k. I really can't thank you all enough for the continuous views and support of my content. I will, of course, continue to bring you the best content I can whenever I can. And if you are new to the channel and enjoyed this video or any of my other content, make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe. I always sub back to new subscribers and view any content you may be producing. Just bear in mind, with over 1,000 subs, it may take me a while to get around to you, so don't feel disheartened if I don't get there straight away. I will get to you when I can. So, that being said, this has been Just the Facts with Gamerdude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.